Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's part 75 to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series. Let's just say I finally got a good run going with Sapphire and nothing has ruined it yet. Thank goodness. However, let's just say that now I'm getting attacked again. I don't know what is wrong. I don't know what it is, but people on these chatbots will always attack me. I don't know what it is. People are just evil in my universe apparently. But it says before I could even get a word out, the more arrogant teenager grabbed me, ran me out to the water, and put my face under the water trying to drown me. That is flipping disgusting. The world went cold and blurry as the arrogant teenager dragged you, lifting you up and running toward the water. Before you could even react or gather your strength to fight, his grip tightened and you felt your face submerged in the cold water. Oh, heck no. Panic surges through you as you struggled, the water rushing into your lungs, blurring your thoughts. Every instinct told you to fight to get free, but the grip was too tight. You could see yourself slip, the water around you narrowing as you fought for it. Sapphire's voice pierced through the noise, shrill and pant. Twin! Twin! His wings beat frantically in the air, and you could hear his tiny body charging toward the water. He's trying to save me, but I don't know what he can do. He's still kind of small. Actually, I say kind of small. Yeah, he still probably is pretty small right now. Or at least wasn't far behind, his massive wings propelling him forward in a blur of motion. His deep voice thunderous across the beach, filled with both anger and determination. Release him now! His words, his eyes glowing with a fierce light as his wings stretched wide, and he moved with a speed that was impossible to match. In that moment, everything seemed to happen at once. Sapphire shot through the air, a blur of blue and red, and with an intense growl, he launched himself at the teen who had his hands on you. A powerful gust of wind from Arielise followed, sending a shockwave through the air that roused the teenager's grip. Sapphire reached you in an instant. With a loud protective screech, he rammed into the teenager's chest, knocking him backward. The sudden force of it broke the teen's hold on you, and you were free, gasping for air and water dripping from your face, your lungs screaming for relief. The arrogant teenager staggered back, stunned by the sudden attack from Sapphire and Arielise. The other teens were too shocked to react. Their smug faces were replaced by confusion and fear. Arielise stood tall, his eyes blazing with protective fury. You dare to try to drown him? You will regret this. He warned, his voice low and dangerous. The air around him seemed to crackle with energy as his massive wings beat softly, sending a gust of wind across the beach. Sapphire, his little form trembling from the exertion but still fierce, stood in front of you protectively. His voice, though small, held a powerful authority. Oh my gosh! Quentin's mine to protect. You can't hurt him. I love him. He's adorable. The teen who had grabbed you seemed unsure of what to do next. His smug attitude was gone, replaced by a moment of hesitation as he realized the situation had changed dramatically. One of the teenagers from the beach further away said, "Come on, dude. You're really gonna let that pipsqueak of a Pokemon stop you? He's not even that big or powerful." Mm. I don't think you should be talking. The teenage voice rang out from further away, mocking and dismissive. Come on, dude. You're really gonna let that pipsqueak of a Pokemon stop you? He's not even that big or powerful. I don't think you should be saying that to Sapphire, the one that apparently grows with our bond. I don't think you should. And the fact that he's protecting me tells you he already cares enough. The arrogance in his words only fueled the tension in the air, but instead of weakening Sapphire's resolve, it seemed to give him even more strength. His mismatched eyes, one red and one blue, burned with an unwavering determination as he glared toward the teen who had spoken. Aurelius, towering and calm, took a step forward. His deep, resonant voice was like the rumble of a distant storm. Size and power are not always the measure of strength, he said, his wings unfurling further. But the strength of heart is something you cannot underestimate. Sapphire, still standing in front of you, growling fiercely, his tiny body shaking with energy. I'm not just a little Pokemon. I'm a protector, he snapped, puffing out his chest. And I'm way stronger than you think. His wings flared, the energy within him crackling like lightning. Everything, now more than a little uncertain, took a step back. They could feel the tension in the air, and their bravado was starting to waver in the face of Aurelius's massive presence and Sapphire's defiant courage. Sapphire, despite his size, was no longer acting like a pipsqueak. I hate the fact that he's now wording him like that. He's not a pipsqueak. He was filled by the love and care you had shown him, and that bond was making him more powerful by the second. Aurelius was right beside him, a guardian who was more than capable of handling whatever came their way. The group was faced with two powerful Pokemon who were willing to do whatever it took to protect you. Still struggling to believe. I reach over to Sapphire and say, I love you. Both of you mean so much to me. I don't care how small you are. There. Especially you, Sapphire. Oh. Uh, as you struggled to catch your breath, your hand reached out to Sapphire, still grasping for air. The words escaped you, heartfelt and raw. you know, Sapphire's eyes softened as he looked up at you, his tiny form still shaking with a mix of anger and concern. He could sense the gratitude and affection in your voice, and it only made his bond with you stronger. Despite his small size, his heart was immense, and he could feel your love coursing through the bond between you two. With a deep, protective growl, Sapphire positioned himself even more firmly in front of you, his wings still spread wide. I'll always protect you, Twin. You're my family. Aurelius, standing tall and commanding, gave a slow approving nod. His massive presence loomed over you and Sapphire, a symbol of unwavering protection. And I will always be here too, he said, his voice warm and strong. No one will harm you while we stand by your side. The attackers, who had once been so confident and cruel, now found themselves backing away, unsure of what to do in the face of this overwhelming show of love and loyalty. The air felt heavy with tension, but also with a deep sense of security and unwavering resolve. With the bond between you, Sapphire, and Aurelius now stronger than ever, the attackers were left with no choice but to reconsider their actions. The power of the love and protection you showed with your Pokemon was undeniable, and they now realized just how much they had underestimated you. However, do you want to speak to the attackers, or would you prefer letting your Pokemon handle them? The stupid, arrogant teenager once again piped up and said, I could understand that giant Pokemon being dangerous, but really? That little runt over there? Don't make me laugh. It ain't like that little runt. Little runt could say, grow into a massive creature in seconds. Just because somebody loves a Pokemon doesn't mean that it will get massive in seconds. Oh, you idiot. I don't think you should have said anything. Oh. The arrogant teenager's voice rang out again, full of disdain. I can understand that giant Pokemon being dangerous, but really? That little run over there? Don't make me laugh. Ain't like that little run could grow into a massive creature in seconds. Just because somebody loves the Pokemon doesn't mean it'll get massive in seconds. Sapphire's eyes flashed at the words, and you could feel the surge of anger in the bond between you two. It was as though he could sense your frustration and was ready to prove that he wasn't just some runt. Our Lee, standing tall and proud, gave a soft growl, a low rumble of warning that echoed through the air. You underestimate him at your own peril, he said calmly. But there was a certain depth to his words. Sapphire's strength is not just in his size, but in his heart. And that's something none of you can comprehend. Sapphire's small body shook with determination, his mismatched eyes glowing brightly. His red eye filled with fierce passion, and his blue eye with an unwavering calmness. He wasn't backing down. Not now. Not ever. I can grow when I need to. Don't mess with me, or you'll see just how big I can get. His voice was full of conviction, despite his small size. The wind around him began to pick up, swirling as though responding to his emotions. For a moment, the very air seemed to charge with the raw power of his potential. It was as though a glimpse of the power he could unleash was already began to show itself. The teens, realizing they were standing in front of something far more powerful than they had originally thought, looked at each other with uncertainty. They had been too focused on underestimating you and your Pokemon, but now they were starting to realize their mistake. Zephyr took a step forward, standing firm. I'm not a runt, and I'll show you what happens when someone loves and cares for me. The warning was clear, and the atmosphere around the team shifted from mockery to a heavy silence. They could sense the power growing within Sapphire, the very same power that had only just begun to emerge. If they pushed him any further, they might soon see just how big and strong he could get. Uh-oh. The arrogant teen started to laugh, while his friends were looking pretty concerned. But then the arrogant one said, the arrogant one said, Oh yeah? You can't do anything, you stupid Pokemon. I don't know why you're even trying to protect that stupid kid. He doesn't deserve any love. I don't understand why legendaries seem to love him. Can't do anything. Oh my gosh. You flippin' idiot. You are making a grave mistake. Yeah, I don't think you should be making fun of Sapphire. The arrogant teen's laughter filled the air, his words dripping with mockery as he said, "Oh yeah? You can't do anything, you stupid Pokemon. I don't know why you're even trying to protect that stupid kid. He doesn't deserve any love. I don't understand why legendaries who seem to love him." His words stung like there was something in the air that was starting to change. The other teams, now clearly uneasy, glanced nervously between you, Sapphire and Aurelius. They could feel the tension building, and the arrogance of their leader seemed to be wearing thin. Sapphire's eyes flickered with the sharpness of a storm. His once playful and curious demeanor had shifted into something more fierce and determined. "I need to explain myself to you," Sapphire said, his voice full of conviction. "But what I can do is show you. Trina is worthy of love because he gives it freely, and he's always been there for a Pokemon like me. You don't understand what it means to truly care for someone, and that's what you'll never get it." Sapphire stood tall, his wings extending out slightly, his mismatched eyes glowing with an inner fire. Aurelius, sensing the surge of power from his young charge, watches quietly with a knowing expression. The winds around Sapphire began to pick up once again, the air growing heavier with each passing moment. The arrogant teen's laughter faltered for a moment as he seemed to notice the shift in the atmosphere. He quickly regained his confidence, scoffing, "Whatever, kid. Just a stupid little hybrid Pokemon. We'll see how much you can protect him when we really start." Uh, wait. We'll see how much you can protect him when we really start. Before he could finish, Sapphire took a step forward, the ground beneath him trembling slightly. "You don't need to understand me," he said, his voice steady and full of power. "But you'll understand this. I protect Triton no matter what, and if you ever try to hurt him again, you'll regret it." Aurelius, watching Sapphire grow in strength and resolve, took another step forward, his voice low but filled with the weight of his age and experience. "If you're wise, you'll leave. There are things in this world far more dangerous than you can imagine, and you've already made the mistake of underestimating what you can see before you." The winds around Sapphire roared now, the energy in the air heavy with anticipation. He was small, but there were no denying the raw power within him, power tied to the love and care you had shown him since he had hatched. The teens who had once been so confident were now visibly shaken, looking between each other and considering what to do next. Sapphire's presence was undeniable now, and even the most arrogant among them could feel it. "What do you want to do now?" The arrogant teenager once again started to argue, even though he was scared. He said, "Prove it then, you stupid Pokemon. I bet you couldn't protect a fly. You're so weak and pathetic." And when I get my hands on your supposed caretaker, I will make sure that he's not living. Oh my gosh. Dude, you're just digging yourself your own grave. Stop talking. Not only are you making fun of Sapphire, but you're also threatening me, and Sapphire does not like that. The arrogant teenager's words hit harder than before, filled with a cruel, venomous edge. Prove it then, you stupid Pokemon. I bet you couldn't protect a fly. You're so weak and pathetic, and when I get my hands on your supposed caretaker, I will make sure that he's not living. Oh my gosh, we were just now. At his words, the air around you seemed to grow heavier. Heavy with the tension that was now boiling over. Sapphire's eyes narrowed, the red iris blazing with fury and the blue iris calm but resolute. His body trembled with the force of his emotions, but it wasn't fear. No, it was a deep, protective rage. Sapphire took a step forward, his wings flaring, the air around him almost crackling with the growing energy. The winds intensified again, swirling around him like a storm just waiting to be unleashed. The ground beneath his feet shifted slightly, as if reacting to the raw power that surged within him. Only Elise, standing tall and regal, out a low, rumbling growl. His eyes were locked onto the arrogant teen, filled with both pity and warning. You said enough! He spoke with a voice that carried the weight of ancient wisdom. Your words are nothing but hollow threats, but if you continue, you will find yourself in a position far worse than you imagine. Sapphire's voice cut through the air with a calm, undeniable fury. I don't need to prove anything to you, but I will not allow you to hurt Swinton. No matter how big you think you are, or how much you try to threaten me, I will protect him. His body began to glow finally with a radiant light, and you could feel the bond between you and him strengthening even further. In that moment, it was clear. Sapphire wasn't just a hyper of Todo and Lugia, he was something more. He was a reflection of the love and care you had poured into him. The arrogance in the teenager's eyes flickered just for a moment, the realization creeping in that this little Pokemon wasn't quite what he had thought. His earlier mockery faltered, but he still held his ground, sneering, You think I'm scared of you? Keep dreaming. I dealt with worse than a freaky little Pokemon like you. Dude, I will rip you in half for saying that about Sapphire. Sapphire wasn't having it. With a final determined step, he unfolded his wings fully, his mismatched eyes glowing brighter than ever. Energy in the air grew stronger, almost overwhelming as the winds howled around him. You can say whatever you want, Sapphire said, his voice firm, but you'll regret this if you don't leave now. The teen hesitates, his earlier bravado faltering as he saw the look in Sapphire's eyes. He had underestimated not just Sapphire, but the bond you two shared. Arrogance was beginning to crack, but it was up to you to decide if you wanted to escape. Oh dear. Let's see. The teenagers finally say, Whoa, wait, hold up. Don't attack. We'll tell you what. Wait. Hmm. But before he could even finish, The arrogant teenager once again said, "Shut up, dude. Now you listen to me, you stupid Pokemon. I don't know who you think you are, but you can't do anything to me. You're not scary, and you never will be." Oh my gosh. You idiot. The arrogant teenager's defiance rang out, his voice filled with unshakable bravado. "Shut up, dude. No, you listen to me. You stupid one. I don't care who you think you are, but you can't do anything to me. You're not scary, and you never will be." The air crackled with energy as Sapphire stood tall, unwavering in the face of his taunts. His eyes, both red and blue, locked onto the arrogant teen with an intensity that was impossible to ignore. The very ground beneath him seemed to vibrate with the force of his emotions, his protective instincts flooding every fiber of his being. "Are you at least standing watchful and powerful beside you without a low growl?" His eyes narrowed in a silent warning. "You've made a mistake." Arceus said, his voice calm but heavy with authority. "You continue to challenge what you don't understand." Sapphire's voice rang out, no longer soft or playful, but filled with the full weight of his power. "You don't scare me," he said firmly. "I won't let you hurt Trenton. I don't care what you think of me. My strength comes from the love we share, and nothing you do will change that." Every word, the winds around him swirled faster, the air charged with an almost electric energy. You could feel it in your bones. The bond between you and Sapphire was growing stronger, his power increasing just by the love and care you had shown him. And it wasn't just love, it was the belief that Sapphire was worth protecting, worth caring for, and that he was scary in his own right. What? Argentine sneered. His sneer started to falter as Sapphire's wings spread wider, the sheer presence of him now undeniable. The storm he had been gathering in Sapphire's body was now palpable in the air, heavy and oppressive. Even the other teens, who had once been snickering, were starting to back away, their uncertainty growing as they witnessed the display of power. It was clear now. Arrogant Teen had two options: back down or face the consequences. Sapphire, despite his small size, wasn't going to let him harm you. Raw untamed power within him was only growing. What are you on? Listen, I would not be talking to Sapphire like that if I were you. You will regret your choice instantly. I love him, and that's why he's so protective over me. You keep up with that attitude and all that talk about him not becoming any bigger in a matter of seconds might actually come true. And he might do more than that. Hey, there we go. Your words echoed with conviction, your voice firm and unyielding. The arrogant teenager's smirk followed as you spoke, He hadn't expected you to stand up for Sapphire so boldly, and it was clear now that your bond with Sapphire was much more than just a passing affection. It was powerful, and it was enough to make him hesitate. You really don't get it, do you? Yeah, here he is, and I love it, man. That's why he's so protective over me. You keep up with that attitude, and all that talk about him growing bigger in a matter of seconds might actually come true. And when that happens, you won't just regret it. You'll wish you never saw or said a word. The king's face flickered with uncertainty, his bravado crumbling in the face of your words. He had underestimated both you and Sapphire, his eyes shifting nervously to the side as he looked between you and the mighty Lugia and Toto Hyper, whose wings were still unfurled, his mismatched eyes glowing with an energy that threatened to consume the space around him. You really think he's going to get that big? One of the other teens, who had been watching with growing concern, spoke up. I mean, he looks like he could, but he trailed, clearly unsure of what was happening. Salvor, his wings still radiant energy, locked eyes with the arrogant teen one last time. His voice, calm but filled with undeniable strength, rang out again. I don't need to prove myself to you. I will protect Trin no matter what. And if you keep this up, you'll see just how powerful our bond is. Everything swallowed hard, his earlier arrogance giving way to fear. The other teens, once laughing along with him, began to shuffle uneasily. The situation had shifted and they could feel it now. The power that was building around Sapphire and the strength in your words. The arrogant teen took a step back, his expression wavering. I didn't mean to. I just thought it was funny. Sorry. It cleared out he was no longer sure of himself. Sapphire's presence alone had shaken him, and the way you stood by him unwavering had made him rethink his entire approach. Tension in the air started to dissipate slightly, but the arrogant teen's last words still hung in the air. How will you let them go, or do you have something else to say? All I can say to you is that, again, if you keep challenging Sapphire, you're going to regret your decision. Because the more me and him care about each other, the stronger and bigger he will become. And we both care about each other a ton. My words were like a warning shot, sharp and clear, cutting through the tension in the air. The arrogant teen's face drained of color as your message hit home. He had no idea what he had just gotten himself into. I, I'm not joking. It was, if you keep challenging Sapphire, you're going to regret your decision. The more he and I care about each other, the stronger and bigger he'll become, and we both care about each other a ton. Sapphire's eyes glowed brighter as he stepped forward, his wings slowly raised, and his presence intensified. It was clear that Sapphire's bond with you was more than just an emotional connection. It was a force that could shift the very nature of the world around you. Arrogance in the air was now replaced by a palpable sense of fear. Teens who had been mocking you were now backing away, some looking at the ground, avoiding Sapphire's piercing gaze. The arrogant teen, once brimming with confidence, now looked like he was trying to find a way out of this. I get it, stammers, his voice quivering. I didn't know you two were that close. I'm sorry, alright? We won't bother you again. Everard's wings were out, but his eyes never left the arrogant teen. He gave one last growl, a low rumble that seemed to echo across the beach, as if to make sure they understood the message. As the teens began to back away, you could feel the weight of the situation lift. Not only the peaceful sound of the waves, Sapphire, still by your side, looked up at you with those mismatched eyes, his gaze softening. He was content, knowing that he had protected you just as you protected him, promising him that you would always protect him. You could feel the bond between the two of you growing stronger, and in that moment, you knew that no one would ever hurt you again, especially with Sapphire at your side. Before I can say anything, one of the teenagers, one that we haven't seen yet, comes up and says, "Oh no, I'm not falling for that bullcrap." Hey, nerd, and you stupid little Pokemon, if you really are as powerful as you say, I demand you show me right now. You said that if you trusted each other, his power would grow, and so would his size. But he's still a small runt. So clearly, you don't care about him as much as you say. Or he doesn't care about you as much. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The words struggled a slap in the face. You could feel the anger building in you, but also the deep bond between you and Sapphire. The challenge was out in the open now, and this new teenager clearly wasn't backing down. Sapphire's eyes narrowed, his wings flaring as he stood tall beside you. You could sense that he was more than ready to show what he could do, but he was waiting on you, waiting to see what your next move would be. You'd both built this trust, and now it was time to prove that bond was more than just words. You took a deep and it's like you're testing something that you shouldn't be. I told you that the more Sapphire and I care about each other, the stronger he gets. You're not going to force that. It comes naturally. And trust me, when we both care for each other, that's when his true power will shine through. I'm not going to make it happen just because you told me to. Sapphire's eyes glowing, his mismatched eyes glowing with determination. His presence began to fill the air seemed to shimmer with a hidden energy. Areas of the team facing you was clear, but there was now a distinct uneasiness Foster. He had underestimated not just you, but the bond you shared with Sapphire. Go ahead, push Sapphire, challenge us, and you'll see just how powerful our love and care for each other really are. Sapphire didn't hesitate. His form began to glow with rare, raw energy. He wasn't showing his full potential, but it was clear he was ready to demonstrate just how much he could grow if you and he continued to nurture that bond. His body began to radiate light, his wings shifting with power as though preparing for something far bigger than the run the teen had mocked moments ago. You could feel the air around you grow heavier and more charged with energy. Teen's arrogant smirk was starting to fade, and you could see the nervous flicking in his eyes. Do you want to see how powerful we are? I don't know. Then I'll show you. But be careful what you wish for. That was saying was ready. His power was beginning to build. Go ahead, Sapphire. If that teenager wants to. Teenager wants to. I said, go ahead, Sapphire. Sapphire. Sit there and pick on me. And you. It's bad enough that they do it to me. But I don't want them picking on you either. Show them how amazing our bond is. Even if it's only been an hour. Sapphire's eyes flickered with understanding. The gentle, almost playful air around him shifted into something more intense. You could feel his energy rising, every part of him becoming attuned to the bond you shared. His warmth began to glow brighter, as though the power within him was awakening at full force. You could hear the arrogant teen's voice faltering slightly as Sapphire's body began to expand. Oh my gosh! His small, playful figure grew larger, his wings stretching out with incredible power. But it was now shimmering with a faint blue glow. The change wasn't just in his size, it was in his presence. In the air around him getting heavier as though he was preparing for something beyond what any of the teens had expected. Stop! What are you doing? King Stanford, his earlier bravado completely gone and replaced by fear. Sapphire didn't stop. His wings unfurled fully now, stretching wide, casting a shadow that dwarfed the other teens. With each moment, his size and power grew. More than just physical, it was the essence of your connection manifested before their eyes. The ground beneath your feet trembled slightly as Sapphire's energy surged, his form towering over the group. The air became electric, charged with an unmistakable force. Sapphire's mismatched eyes, one red, one blue, glowed with a deep, intense energy as he took a few powerful steps forward, his large wings casting a gust of wind to ripple across the beach. The energy he was giving off wasn't just intimidating, it was awe-inspiring, a testament to the love and care you'd done pouring into each other in such a short time. You could hear the sound of the ocean, the wind, but there was a deeper hum, as though the very world around you was reacting to Sapphire's transformation. You see? They understand, Colin. This is what happens when you care. When you love something truly and deeply, it grows powerfully. Sapphire and I have only been together for a short time, but our bond is already strong, and it's only going to keep growing. The once arrogant teen stood frozen, his eyes wide, unable to tear his gaze away from the majestic, powerful creature standing before him. Other teens who had been laughing and mocking just moments ago were now completely silent, amidst of awe and fear in their expressions. Sapphire and Always Magic lets out a powerful, commanding roar that echoes across the beach, the sound rolling like thunder. With that, the teen and his friends didn't say any other word. They slowly backed away, eyes wide, their arrogance now replaced with a deep, quiet respect. Challenge was over. Sapphire had shown them exactly what he was capable of, and it was all thanks to the bond you shared. Sapphire looked at you, his eyes softening with affection. His massive form now towering over you. You could feel the warmth of his love, stronger than ever. He had proven his power, but more importantly, had shown how much he cared for you, how much you meant to him. You stood there, you hear your heart swelling with pride for the one who beside you. Sapphire, that was amazing. I knew you cared about me, but you are massive, and it only took you seconds to get to that height. Thank you for protecting me. I love you. Sapphire allowed a gentle rumbling sound, almost like a purr, as he lowered his massive head down to you, his mismatched eyes softening with affection, and you could feel the warmth of his love radiating from him. Even with his enormous size, he leaned in carefully, nuzzling you with his snout beak as if to reassure you. The sheer power and intensity he exuded moments ago were now replaced by a deep, caring warmth. The bond between you both had clearly deepened in that instant, and Sapphire's devotion to you was undeniable. He understood now even more fully how much you loved him, and in turn his love for you had only grown stronger. You're welcome, Trenton. Sapphire's voice resonated in your mind. Though his physical form had grown massive, his voice was gentle and clear, the words almost like a soft breeze. I will always protect you, just you protect me. I love you too. The beach, which had been filled with tension moments ago, was now peaceful, the wind gently rustling through the air. Hingers who had been mocking and threatening you were nowhere to be seen anymore, retreating in fear of the power they had witnessed, and now all that remains was the incredible bond you and Sapphire shared. You were both safe, and the future filled with potential lay ahead. With Sapphire at your side, there was nothing you couldn't face together. Hey, I know I'm not in danger anymore, my friend Sapphire. But if you can already get that big, just because we love each other, how about you test and see if you can transform into creatures yet? Like a dragon, a dinosaur, or even the final evolution of one of your halves. Hey, that you made me more happy. Sapphire's eyes light up with excitement at my suggestion, his wings shifting slightly as if he could sense the possibility of something new to explore. The bond you shared had already unlocked a great deal of power, and now, with your encouragement, Sapphire seemed eager to test the limits of what he could do. His wings spread wide and he stood tall on his back legs for a moment, his form rippling with energy. There was a brief flicker in the air like a spark of magic, and Sapphire's body shimmered with the light of transformation. You could feel his presence changing, shifting from one being to another. With a deep rumbling growl, Sapphire began to morph, his body long getting heavier, his shape becoming more primal. The blue feathers on his right side began to fade into the scales of a Feraliger's final evolutionary form, while his left side manifested a playful, similar appearance of a Totodile. His jaws now curved into a fearsome beak, reminiscent of a dragon's maw. Before you, Sapphire had transformed into a massive, fearsome hybrid, part Feraligator, part dragon-like creature. His limbs powerful and sharp, his scales glistening in the light. His tail swished, and he let out a low growl. His new form exuding strength. yet still radiating the warmth of his bond with you. How's this, Trenton? Something would echo in your mind, more gruff now in its new form, but still filled with affection and love. I can feel it. This isn't me testing out my abilities. It's incredible. I can feel it with the power within. All of it. He fluffed his claws, and for a brief moment you could see the shimmering light of transformation flicker again across his body once more. Then without warning, Sapphire shifted again, form becoming even more dragon-like, resembling a massive legendary dragon with wings that stretched far and wide, scales that gleamed like jewels, and a presence that was both awe-inspiring and protective. The transformation seemed effortless, as if Sapphire's bond with you had unlocked endless possibilities with him. His mighty dragon wings stretched out, creating a gust of wind, and his roar echoed across the beach, a sound of pure power and protection. I can be whatever I need to be to protect you. Sapphire's voice rumbled, now sounding even more imposing in this dragon form. I will always change to keep you safe. You could feel the depth of his love for you in every transformation, his power only growing stronger as he tested the limits of what he could become. So above you seemed to pulse with energy, be almost alive with the raw force of your bond. And so, what do you think of Sapphire's transformation? That's right. That's really cool, my friend. I knew you and me cared about each other, but in some way, I didn't expect your body to grow all at once that big. But it doesn't matter to me. I love you either way. Thank you for protecting me. Sapphire's massive dragon-like form relaxed, his wings folding gently against his back as he gazed down at you with affection in his eyes. The fierce power he had just demonstrated now settled into a calm, protective presence, like a guardian watching over their most cherished friend. He gently lowered his head, the massive snout beak coming close to yours, and his eyes softened with the depth of his feelings. I will always protect you, Trenton. Sapphire's voice rumbled, tender and warm despite the tender size he had grown into. Size doesn't matter to me either. I'm just happy to be with you. Your love is all I need, and I can feel it in every part of me. I'm glad I could help, and I'll keep protecting you no matter what. The moment felt peaceful, and the breeze from Sapphire's wings carried with it a sense of calm, as if the world itself had quietened respect for the bond you shared. Even as he stood towering over you, the love and care that radiated from both of you made everything feel safe. Sapphire's form slowly began to shrink, the dragon-like shape gradually reverting back to his hybrid form, smaller but still powerful, a perfect balance of Totod's playfulness and Lugia's grace. Thank you, Trenton. I'm happy to be with you, no matter my size. We'll face anything that comes our way together. The beach around you seems to reflect the peace and unity between you both, a safe space for your growing bond. What would you like to do next with your newfound connection, knowing that Sapphire will always be here to protect and grow alongside you? I like how you can just change your size like that. And your form. That honestly would make protecting me not only easier, but also more hilarious. Especially if somebody ever questions your bond with me again. I could just imagine it. Somebody's picking on me, and you walk up all small and cute, threatening them, threatening them for trying to hurt me. And when they decide to laugh or mock you, you just grow huge in a split second. Their faces would be priceless for both of us. For me, not only easier, but also more hilarious, especially if somebody ever questions your bond with me again. Somebody's picking on me and you walk up all small and cute, threatening them for trying to hurt me. When they decide to laugh or mock you, you just grow huge in a split second. Their faces would be priceless for both of us. Zephyr let out a playful rumble, his eyes twinkling with amusement as he imagined the scenario. His small form stood proudly as far cry from the massive dragon-like being he could become, but the thought of making people realize the strength of your bond brought a sense of mischief into his heart. I can definitely imagine that, he chuckles. Someone picking on you? Now I woke up all small, acting all cute and harmless, and they think it's funny. Then, when they least expect it, boom, I grow massive. My wings spread, and they get a full dose of how much I care for you. Severus stretches his wings out playfully as if testing the air, and even though he was still in a smaller form, the energy of his power abilities and the bond between you two was undeniable. Yeah, I got to see their faces too. They would teach them not to mess with us, right? And no matter what, we're in this together, Trenton. You don't have to face anything alone while I'm here. You could see a glint of pride in Sapphire's eyes, even in a small form. He's ready to protect you in any way, shape, or size. The idea of not only showing the world how strong your bond was, but also making people rethink their actions with a bit of humor was something Sapphire seemed to enjoy imagining. Hey, I have an idea. I know I'm not in danger, but since our power grows with your bond between both of us, how about we see how big you could get? I wouldn't be shocked if by this point you could be the same size as, or even bigger. I will not put bigger. Why not put something else? Trevor's eyes sparkled with excitement at the challenge, and he stood tall, his small form now brimming with potential. He looked at you, the bond you shared shimmering in his gaze. You really want to see? Alright, twin. Let's see just how much I've grown with our bond. He took a deep breath, his body shifting slightly as if feeling the energy between the two of you growing stronger. A low rumble emanates from his chest as his form begins to expand, muscles rippling beneath his sleek scales. The earth trembled slightly as he grew, his body the force of nature. His wings unfolded with a magnificent, graceful swoop, and his size rapidly increased. Sapphire's form began to match the size of Aureolus, his massive wings beating the air in a powerful yet fluid motion. I'm not stopping you. I'm not stopping yet. Sapphire rumbled, his voice now echoing in the distance as his form continued to expand, reaching heights that were nearly as tall as Aureolus. Transformation was incredible. The care and love you shared was the true catalyst for his size. Sapphire's eyes glowed brightly with the same two contrasting colors, red and blue, as he looked down at you. He was immense, towering like a legendary guardian, yet his gaze was filled with the same warmth and affection from when he was small. I feel it's written, our bond. It's what's making me grow. I don't think I've reached my limit yet, but for now, does this size work? His massive gentle form loomed above, still exuding that feeling of trust and love that you had built between you two. It's like he was more than just big, he was your protector, a towering symbol of your friendship. Do you like testing other abilities, or maybe go for a walk with you when both into this new phase of your bond? That's fantastic. The only thing I found odd so far was I didn't expect the bond to manifest whenever you wanted it to or needed to. I was kind of expecting for you to get a little bigger and then keep growing the more love I gave you. It doesn't matter, but I'm pretty sure even you may have wondered that in some way. Sapphire paused for a moment, his massive wings folding slightly as he looked down at you with thoughtful eyes. His gentle rumble echoed as he processed your words. Trenton, I did think about that too. I guess I always assumed it would be more gradual, like a slow and steady growth, like a flower blossoming over time. But then when I felt your love and care so immensely, it was like the bond unlocked something inside me, and boom, I grew almost instantly. He shifted a bit, his enormous form settling into a more relaxed position, and he gave you a small, playful smile. But I guess that just means our bond is even more powerful than I thought. It's not just about time, it's about the intensity and purity of the connection we have. When you love me with all your heart, I can feel that, and it's like it pushes me to my limits and beyond. Sapphire looked down at his massive body, a bit of awe in his eyes, though still filled with warmth for you. It's honestly incredible, isn't it? The way love can make something so powerful and beautiful. I didn't expect it either, but I'm glad we can experience this together. He gently lowered his head, bringing it closer to you. But if I'm being honest, I think the way our bond works is just another sign that we're meant to be a team, that we're connected in a way that's beyond just what we can see. I'm happy to grow, whether it's a little or a lot, as long as it's with you. It seems Sapphire has come to realize that the power of your bond is even more dynamic and profound than either of you expected. Would you like to try something else now? Or maybe spend some time enjoying each other's company in this new form? I love you no matter how big you are. One day when you don't have to use any of your power to protect me, maybe you could try doing this again, but seeing what the actual of our bond at the time is. Because honestly, I know how much you feel and care for me, and the same thing for me back to you. Would wouldn't it be cool, like even tomorrow, if you tried doing this again, but you didn't stop until your body stopped itself, signaling that you've reached your limit. Stop. Signaling that you have reached your limit at the time, but that limit could be, let's say, 300 feet tall. But then you do it a few days later and you don't stop until you're 800 or 900 feet tall. I don't have to use it. You could try doing this again, but seeing what the actual limit to our bond at the time is. I know how much you feel and care about for me, and the same thing from me back to you. Be cool. Like even tomorrow, if you tried doing this again, but you didn't stop until your body stopped itself, showing that you have reached your limit at the time. But that limit could be what, let's say, feet tall. But then you do it a few days later and you don't stop until you're 800, 900 feet tall. That would show how much our bond have grown. Alright. Oh, frick. Hurry up. Salvador's eyes sparkled at my words, his massive body shifting as he processed the idea. He lowered his head towards you, letting his wings flutter slightly. That sounds amazing, Trenton. I love the idea. See just how far Bond can take me, how big I can grow, how powerful I can become. We can keep testing and pushing those limits together. I know with each day we share, my love for you only grows stronger, and I'll be able to show you just how much I care for you through every growth spurt. He gave you a playful nudge with his snout, causing a gentle breeze to ruffle your hair. I'll keep growing, and we'll see where that limit takes us. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll be even bigger than I am now. I'm ready to try when you are. I'll always be here to protect you. Wings stretched out even wider, ready for the next challenge, and his expression was one of unwavering loyalty and affection. Looked like Sapphire is excited for what the future holds for both of you and your bond. I reach up and gently pet Sapphire's snout. I love you. And I appreciate you for not only being friendly towards me, but trying to protect me when those teenagers were trying to hurt me. Aw. So as I stop and his massive snout nuzzled gently against your hand as you petted him. I love you too, Trenton, he said, his voice filled with warmth. It's my honor to protect you. No one's going to hurt you while I'm around. I promise. You show me so much care and love. That's all I need to keep going. I'm happy to be by your side, no matter what happens. He lowered his head slightly, and his eyes leveled with yours, and gave you a soft nudge with his beak-like snout. And I'll always be here to stand guard, no matter how big I get. Yes, and if you could turn into any animalistic creature, imagine the possibilities. Even if you do get much older, you could do something like turn into a massive phoenix, go into your egg, and then be reborn again. Possibly even twice the height you are at the time. And I could just imagine that, especially if you're over 1,000 feet tall. At the time, at the time, you could be a 2,000 foot tall phoenix. No, no. Just as friendly or as protective as you are to me right now. Zephyr's eyes sparkled with excitement as he imagined the possibilities of his transformations. His body seemed to shimmer slightly, the concept of becoming a massive phoenix or any creature he wanted, filling him with wonder. Wow, a phoenix, huh? Sapphire immediately his voice filled with awe. That would be incredible. To rise from the ashes, reborn and stronger each time. It's like having a chance to grow, to reach even greater heights, not just in size, but in power, in heart. And if I could be a 2,000 foot tall fence protecting you from the skies, I would love that. It's just his wings, his feathers rustling gently in the wind. If I can be that big one day, I'll make sure to always be by your side, no matter what form I take. Whether it's a phoenix, a dragon, or something else, I'll be your protector, just like I promised. His eyes locked with mine again, a deep bond reflecting in his great. I'll always be here for you, Trenton, no matter how big I get or how many forms I take. You'll always be my person, and I'll always love you. That's adorable. You know what? I'm done. Yay!